On the new leak for Mr. Bridges' roof job. Sitting here washing dishes and it started raining. And I got this inside the window. Look at this. Yeah, Mr. Bridges, professional. And damage over here too. This is all new. Got a stain over here. And my wire was in here. Looks like in here. Yeah, this wall's getting soft again. Dear Mr. Bridges, last year your company contracted with Ricky Graham to perform work in his home in Baxter. This work was financed by Rural Development and the Tennessee Housing Development Agency, THDA. You were paid $9,675 for your work and building materials. You have been paid in full. Several months ago, Mr. Graham notified you of defective workmanship and nonconformity with the contract. Then he requested that the problem be corrected. In addition, Rural Development confirms it discussed Mr. Graham's complaints with you. Since you have taken no action to correct the problems, Mr. Graham has retained us to represent him in preparation for litigation in this matter. Mr. Graham recently hired a licensed home inspector, Mr. Jim Dainty of Win Home Inspections, to review your work. After the home inspection, Mr. Dainty noted the following items of substandard workmanship and made recommendations. Item 1. Storm door. A new storm door was installed but was deteriorated at the bottom edge. It is apparent that the storm door needed to be cut in height to accommodate the current opening. The modification made exposed the wood core of the door without sealing the bottom or installing a proper door bottom weather stripping. The door has deteriorated. The door warrants replacement. Okay, moisture stain within the northeast bedroom ceiling area. Review of the exterior indicates the stain is adjacent to the base of the valley, main roof, and porch. Recommend review of the valley application to ensure all potential points of entry are sealed. Repair of the affected ceiling is also recommended. He removed the gutters and he used watered down, thinned out cool seal. And somehow he managed to destroy my roof and cause a leak along the whole entire east side of my home. Item 3, moisture stain in south end bedroom. The issue is adjacent to the hall bathroom area. The vent pipe serving the bathroom appears to have been sealed off when the roof cover was coated. The sealing of the vent may offer opportunity for moisture condensation to occur, creating stain. The area was dry at the time of inspection. Consult contractor to review and address. Item 4. Shower head and plumbing. The supply pipe exhibits excessive freedom of movement. This should be addressable by tightening pipe. He said he did. He never did. Deviations in floor surfaces of kitchen and bathroom. The inspection revealed some evidence of subfloor edge joints telegraphing through the tile. There are also some tiles that exhibit gaps between the intended joints. Review the visually accessible floor components. Do not review any moisture-related issues. There is evidence of some sections of the subfloor having been replaced. The telegraphed edges are likely due to the newer and older material not being exactly the same thickness. This is often an issue of age and acclimation. Same size material may vary in thickness due to temperature and relative humidity. The floor is viewed as structurally sound. Most of the underside of the floor area was not visually accessible due to secured underpinning. There are a couple of areas that were opened during repair process. He replaced a couple sections about 3 foot by 2 foot and used some kind of filler to join it to the new wood to the old wood and did not sand it down. The inspector does not recommend closure of the substructure fabric underpinning, as openings can create avenue for nesting of vermin or other unwanted animals. The openings were likely created during the repairs to subfloor. Yeah, he dropped it when he was going to the plumbing underneath the house and never put it back up. Item 5. Shower surround finishing. The top edge of the fiberglass shower surround terminates within the opening of the bathroom window. This is viewed as incomplete, as the opening could allow water to access formal closure of the application. A formal closure of the application is recommended. This would eliminate the use of the window, but offer intended protection. There is also some cosmetic repair to drywall corners at adjacent wall of shower area. Mr. Graham also complains that the entire subfloor was not replaced as discussed, and there were some soft areas remaining as a result. Also, there is water damage to the ceiling in the living room area. We request that you and your crew return to Mr. Graham's home to complete and or correct the work. You should contact me first to make necessary arrangements. This will confirm that the Bridges Construction has agreed to come out and make the repairs and complete the work identified during the home inspection. The two of you will schedule the date and time for Mr. Bridges to come out. I asked him to call you yesterday, so you may have done that already. Enclosed, please find a letter I have written to Mr. Bridges confirming his agreement to fix the problems. If you have any questions while the work is being completed, please do not hesitate to contact me. Please do not sign any documents Mr. Bridges requests until I have had the opportunity to review them and discuss whether you believe the work has been done satisfactorily. Please call me if you have questions. Dear Mr. Bridges, thank you for your contacting me in response to the April 29, 2016 letter. This will confirm that you have agreed to complete the work and repairs identified by Mr. Graham and by Win Home Inspections. You will contact Mr. Graham directly to make arrangements for a date and time you will go to his home to begin the work. Again, we expect that to be completed within a reasonable time. If you have questions, please contact me. Also, before Mr. Graham signs any documentation, upon completion of the work, I will review that. Hence, do not ask him to sign any document until he has had the opportunity to review that with me. If you have any questions or wish to discuss this matter further, please do not hesitate to call me. Okay. Now, Mr. Bridges, when he was here doing this work that he was supposed to be doing, he has this thing. When he goes back into a person's home, he uncovers damage that he had left behind. And he pulls this shit. Dear Mr. Graham, enclosed, please find a copy of a letter I have received from Mr. Bridges' attorney with regard to your claim of substandard work repair at your home. He now alleges that any damages at your home resulted from a leak which caused flooding after he had completed the work there. I have also included a copy of his affidavit received from his attorney. I have also enclosed a copy of a letter I have sent in response stating that you would not sign any release as his attorney demanded. In addition to the letter, an affidavit, I received several photographs with notes written on them pointing out damages from flooding that after Mr. Bridges completed his work. Once you have had a chance to review this letter, Mr. Bridges' affidavit, please call me to discuss how you wish to proceed. I look forward to hearing from you. From his lawyer, Leslie Clark Ledbottom, liar at law, 6890 South York Highway. Marla K. Williams, 9 South Jefferson Avenue. Ricky Graham versus James Bridges. Dear Ms. Williams, please be advised that my office has been retained to represent Mr. Bridges and Bridges Construction in this matter. The attached affidavit and photos are our proof that the bulk of the substandard workmanship was indeed damaged from a leak that occurred months after the work Mr. Bridges completed was finished. Mr. Bridges has over $2,500 in expenses related to the water damage issue that he needlessly repaired, as well as time away from other jobs, along with the damage to his reputation, which has never been in question before Mr. Graham's knowingly false claims. We are willing to consider this matter closed and will not pursue further action against Mr. Graham. We receive a full release regarding the property within 15 days. Yep. It won't focus. Well, anyway, here's his affidavit. I am James Bridges of Bridges Construction of 757 Little Hurricane Trail, Monterey, Tennessee, 38574. After being first duly sworn according to law, depose and say as follows. I completed a repair project at the 1080, my address, in April 2015 for Ricky Graham through the USDA program and received an inspection report dated April 20th, 2015 that indicated Mr. Graham was satisfied with my work. Brittany Smith from USDA also inspected the work and signed the inspection report. In addition, I provided a builder's warranty that provided that within 1 year of my work, I would warranty the workmanship, materials, and installation of equipment that I had provided during the 2015 repairs that I contracted to provide under the USDA drawings and specifications given to me in the bid specs in 2015. Mr. Bridges, I was informed by my lawyer, is not licensed to be a contractor. And he's working out of a government agency, apparently protected by this Brittany Smith. I don't know if they're related or she's getting a kickback, but he's still there and still working. Also, Brittany Smith did not tell me that if I was not satisfied with his work that I did not have to sign the agreement. She just kept sticking it in my face. And Bridges, well, he's got this thing, he pisses you off so much. And yeah, I said it to her, and I told my lawyer, and I will tell you. That guy had me so mad, so angry, so pissed that if he stepped foot back in my house, I would have shot him in the face. I still feel like doing it. And I'm sure he's got a lot of people out there that want to see him hurt bad. Anyway, I was contacted by Brittany Smith of USDA in about late October or early November 2015 to let me know that Mr. Graham had complaints of issues of all the work that you have done. You will have to redo. I agreed to pay for a home inspection to determine the issues with my work. Yeah, that's because I told him that I was seriously thinking about filing criminal charges against him. Prior to beginning the second repairs, I specifically asked Mr. Graham on the phone if he had any leaks or other damage after we had finished the work that would have caused the subfloor damage and any other problems. He answered no. That never happened. He was too busy choking on a cigar. When I went out of the house on the day one, I began repairs to the kitchen and dining room plywood subflooring, which had buckled and was of different thickness. It's because he did not sand a filler. I couldn't understand why the floor areas had various thickness. Sanded 5 by 8 foot plywood was used originally and was measured level in 2015. The only thing I've ever seen them use the level for was to kill a snake. On day 2 of the repairs, I determined that the walls by the washer and dryer had water damage, and flooring near the washer and dryer, as well as the plywood under the peel and stick tile in the kitchen and dining room, had water damage. Well, the guy never used sanded 5 by 8 plywood. He used a rough cut. And this time he did use 5 by 8 sanded plywood. It was like a 1/4 inch. But anyway, let's see, where was I? On day 2 of the repairs, I determined that the walls by the washer and dryer had water damage, and flooring near the washer and dryer, as well as the plywood under the peel and stick, let's see, yeah, damage that was consistent with the usual wear and tear. Upon showing Mr. Graham the photographs, never did, because if he showed me his photographs, I would have showed him mine. Attached, he admitted that in October 2015, he went to South Carolina with a friend for a week, and a rat had chewed through the water line in 2 places, and the whole place was flooded with water standing in it. That happened back in 2008. When he first came in, he asked, "What happened in here? You have a flood or something?" I told him, yeah. And I told him the story then. And when he said, "Yeah, you got water damage here," I told him, that could be from the flood that happened a few years back. But, yeah, he's a fucking dick, I tell you that. Anyway, the rat chewed the water line in 2 places, and the whole place was flooded with water standing in it. which is consistent with the photographs with the water damage to the flooring, subfloor, and the pipes, and the missing underpinning near the kitchen sink, which was not created by any repairs that were undertaken in 2015, but by the water damage that Mr. Graham admitted to. My crew was present during Mr. Graham's admission to the water damage. Yeah, his family. The water damage as well. At that point, we couldn't leave the premises without a floor surface because of safety concerns, so we completed the floor repairs in the kitchen, dining and utility rooms, and replaced the trim and returned to his furniture. No, he did not. The storm door was replaced on day one. The area of the alleged moisture in the south end bedroom was dry, and I checked the vent pipes, and the pipe was not sealed by any cool seal coating or anything else. And the pipe was fully operational. This guy lies so much I don't believe a word he ever says. And I could not find any moisture condensation in the area. The shower head was tightened, and a water-resistant bathboard was placed over the tub, and the window in the bathroom and the window will no longer open. The roof was sealed as needed in 2015. Yeah, it's only been 3 years and things all rusted and just all screwed up, and that shit's supposed to last for 5 years. And the sealant remained tight and did not require a second coating, as if another coating was placed it could crack and peel. It could crack and peel, causing further damage. And I caulked an area of the valley near the bedroom and living room area, which was dry. Yeah, that's why it all travels down the side of the house now, causing damage on the whole side. I know the above based on my own personal knowledge. James Bridges, owner, manager of Bridges Construction. Personally appeared before me, a notary public within named James E. Bridges, with whom I am personally acquainted and who acknowledges that he executed the within instrument for the purposes therein contained. Oh, if he knows that James E. Bridges so personally, then I guess he knows that James E. Bridges is a nigger. And let me explain that. He is a man of no moral character, no ethics, no integrity, and no honor. Okay. To Leslie Clark Ludbottom, attorney. Dear Ms. Ludbottom, I am in receipt of your May 25th, 2016 letter. Please be advised, Mr. Graham will not be signing a full release as you demanded. I am assuming Mr. Bridges will not complete the work as agreed. I will be back in contact with you with regard to any further action in this matter. Well, getting a new contractor out to take a look at everything and to testify in court against this man is impossible. He knows it. This person, and I use the term very loosely, has pulled this scam so many times, and my lawyer said that we cannot go after him criminally and have him and this Brittany Smith person investigated until we prove substandard workmanship, and go through the files and have, interview other past employers and see what they say. But let me show you a few things here. Okay, this here area here, this here he says was done in 2016, and that this happened, October of 2015 after he had left. And his underpinning in the kitchen. And he's got this here, water damage after 2015 repairs. And that little there spot there. Utility room. I have no idea what that is. Or this.